We are in my bathroom! Oh my god! Yay! I've always wanted to take you to the bathroom with me. In fact, I actually have in a live show a couple of times, to be fair. But welcome to my upstairs bathroom in my bedroom. This is the only place in the house that isn't connected to a neighbour's wall. So this is the only place I could have possibly at least filmed the intro of this. I'm not staying in the bathroom the entire video. What am I doing? Sitting on the floor of my bathroom, literally next to my shower and sink. God, I hope there's no spiders in here. No, it's not. It's just a scratch. Okay, so I really wanted to do a 22 books to read in 2022 video, right? That's totally reasonable. Lots of people have been doing it on BookTube recently, oh god. And I always wanted to be one of them. I've always said this, I am a sheep and I want to follow my shepherd. So I really wanted to do that, but I wasn't sure how to do it because I wanted to do a little bit of a twist to it. I love doing really random shit, and I mean, literally random shit. You are literally sitting on my toilet right now. What I thought, right, I was listening to Therapy from TikTok Boom pretty much all day today. Now, I haven't actually seen the film yet. I do want to do a movie night with my patrons because I love this song, right? But then I thought, okay, how could I tie that into 22 books I want to read in 2022? I know, why don't I do a countdown or like a timer where whatever the timer lands on, that lyric or word or whatever is the word that I have to try and put towards a book that I pick for my 22 books for 2022. So I was like, okay, I need 22 words from these lyrics. I took the total runtime, which was 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So that's technically 164 seconds long. So divide that by 22 and I had 7.45 seconds. And then I realized there are quite a lot of repeated words in this song. So if I do that and I only get 22 words, what happens if like all of them were bad? Because literally the word bad is repeated so many times. What if I just had to read 22 books with the word bad in the title? So I've changed it and it's now going to be every 5 seconds. So I have a 5-second timer and then every 5 seconds it will pick a word for me and I'm going to sing it myself because I want to avoid that copyright. I have just done a Mamma Mia reading vlog where I sing songs for Mamma Mia, and again, I am a terrible singer. I know this. I am a really god-awful singer. So I do not blame you if you just dip out this video right now. I don't blame you. But however, if you don't want to stick around, please do subscribe and like this video if you enjoy it. But yes, I do know I can't sing. That's part of the fun. I will not actually know which words are picked until after I edit this part. So editing Gav, I hope it's a bloody good one. I hope this video was worth it. But yes, I don't want my neighbours to hear me. And they might still end up hearing me. Who knows? Like, how do performers on Broadway do this before they go on stage? I do not know. God, fuck, I'm nervous. And I don't actually know the lyrics off by heart. I have them in front of me. This is gonna be so shit. I can't wait to see how it turns out. But don't judge me too much, please. I no. Damn it. Too late, Andrew Garfield. Okay, let's start again. I feel bad that you feel bad about me feeling bad about you feeling bad about what I said, about what you said, about me not being able to share a feeling. If I thought that what you thought was that I hadn't thought about sharing my thoughts, then my reaction to your reaction to my reaction would have been more revealing. I was afraid that you'd be afraid if I told you that I was afraid of intimacy. If you don't have a problem with my problem, maybe the problem's simply codependency. Sing along at home. Yes, I know that, now you know that, I didn't know that, you didn't know that when I said no, I meant yes, I know, and that now I know that you knew that I knew you adored me. Fuck, I'm good. I was wrong to say, you were wrong to say, I was wrong about you being wrong when you ran to say that the ring was the wrong thing to say. I want to say rings for me, I fucked it up. I'm not mad that you got mad when I got mad when you said I should go Dublin. If I were you when I done what I done, I'd do what you did when I gave you the ring. Haven't said what I said. I feel bad that you feel bad about me feeling bad about you feeling bad about what I said about what you said about me not being able to share a feeling. If I thought that what you thought was that I hadn't thought about sharing my thoughts, then my reaction to your reaction to my reaction would have been more revealing. I'm not mad that you got mad when I got mad when you said I should go drop dead. If you had done what I done, I'd do what you did when I gave you the ring. Haven't said what I said. But now it's out in the open. Now it's off our chest. Now it's 4 AM and we have therapy. Tomorrow it's too late to screw. So let's just get some rest. Oh my fucking god. Well, that was fucking awful. Yeah, so I'm gonna edit this part and cry. Hopefully, it gave me some good words to play with for this video. Also, I hope my neighbours didn't hear me sing that. 3 hours later, I've come to realise that this video is already a massive fail. I have been struggling in this room trying to find books to fit the words that was picked for me. I mean, it's not too late to delete this video. So I've had to bend some of these a lot. I mean, leave a comment down below to let me know if you have any books that would fit the words that I'm about to bend, because I have scoured the shelves, I've scoured Goodreads, I've scoured the internet, Google, all of that, and I struggle. So the 5-second Tick Tick Boom therapy song challenge gave me 32 words. Those 32 words were about, bad, you, to, feeling, if, hadn't, reaction, would, revealing, I, intimacy, problem, dependency, you, new, wrong, thing, I'm, dead, what, I, me, if, reaction, mad, dead, said, open, chest, late, rest. Also, I didn't mention, but if there was a pause in the song and the timer went off, I just picked a word that was close to the beep. However, there were a few words that came up twice, so I've had to take out the second you, I, if, reaction, and dead. So that's brought it down to 27 words. However, I need 22 so that I could do the 22 books for 2022. So I had to take out 5 more words that I definitely haven't got anything for. And those words were feeling, hadn't, intimacy, problem, and dependency. So that leaves me 22 words to play with. Not a great 22 words, but still I've got a pile here. I've got some that I don't actually own, but I am pretty excited to read. So let's crack into it. So the first word is about, and the only thing that I could get was Much Ado About Nothing by Shakesy P. Now, it's not actually included in this collection that I have, but I did get this edition very recently, and I love it. I mean, I haven't read Shakespeare since uni, and I don't think I ever read Much Ado About Nothing. I might have done. I probably didn't. Much Ado About Nothing is a comedy. It is about misunderstandings, love, and deception. That's all I know. So the next word was bad, and the only book in my library that had the word bad in it, at least that I could spot, was Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. I read the first book, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, years ago, and it was very quick as well. I can barely remember it, but I did remember enjoying it, so it would be great to continue the series. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, from what I remember, followed Pippa, who, for her final year project at school, she decides to investigate a case that was open and shut, and it involved a murder of a schoolgirl. And Pippa believes that there is more to this case, so she ends up investigating it. So I don't actually know where the sequel goes, but, you know, I do remember enjoying it. It has been years, and I've forgotten most of it, but it would be nice to maybe go back to the beginning and read all of them now that I think the whole trilogy is out now. So yeah, Good Girl, Bad Blood for bad. I knew the word bad would come up because the amount of times bad is said at the start of that bloody song. I feel bad that you feel bad. The next word was you, and I would love to read When You Trap a Tiger by T. Keller. That is a book that I know Lexi really loves, and I love Lexi, so all I know about that one is that it is about a young girl who is discovering a secret family history, and a magical tiger comes to visit her, and it's kind of the Korean version of Once Upon a Time. Now, Lily's grandmother stole something from the tigers years before, and the tigers want it back. And that's all I know. It sounds incredible, it sounds so magical, and now I can't wait to read that one. So next is Two, and the book I'm putting with that is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This is classic sci-fi, and I've been saying for a long time I would like to get back into some classics. I honestly haven't seen any kind of adaptation. I don't know what this book is about. It says that it is an ordinary Thursday morning for Arthur until his house gets demolished. The Earth follows shortly after to make way for a new hyperspace express route, and Arthur's best friend has just announced that he's an alien. I can't even make sense of that, to be honest. But this version has illustrations by Chris Riddell. Sounds like a really good classic to dive into. The next word is If, and I would like to read If We Were Villains by ML Rio. This one I'm so glad came up because I do plan on reading this year at some point. This is a couple of my favourite people's favourite books, and this is dark academia. I believe somebody gets wrongfully, or maybe not wrongfully, put in jail for a murder, and we find out whether or not they committed it. I mean, this is probably one of those books where the less you know the better, or at least that's my excuse for not being able to talk much about this book. So the next word is reaction, and The Reaction by K.A. Applegate, and I can take this one off my list because I read it last month. It was one of the Animorphs books. I did a whole reading vlog reading all 54 Animorphs books in 1 month. In fact, it was in less than a month. But this is 22 books to read in 2022. I read it in January 2022. I can take this one off. I looked for other books that had reaction in it. Just nothing. Absolutely nothing that I was interested in reading. I'm going to use one that I've already read. Now, Animorphs follows 5 kids who get these powers from this alien where they can morph into animals, and they're trying to stop an alien invasion. Now, it's a really nostalgic series and I had so much fun reading through them all. So if you want to check out that video of me reading it, it's down below. Okay, the next one I had to bend slightly. So the next word is would. Okay, so what's the opposite of would? Wouldn't. And what wouldn't I do? Go back to an ex, because I don't actually have an ex. So I would like to read The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. And I know I stretched this one so much, but I just didn't know what to pick for it. But The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling is essentially just about a witch who curses her ex. Years and years later, I think she regrets it. I think there's romance. This has been described as Gilmore Girls meets Bewitched, and I've heard mixed reviews about it, but I am still excited to read it. So yeah, for would, I would read The Ex-Hex. The next one I also had to bend just slightly. So the next word is revealing. And what is the opposite of revealing? Hide. And do you know what I do when I read a scary book? I hide behind a cushion. Jaws by Peter Benchley. Now, I watched the movie of this when I was a kid. I was far too young to watch it. I had nightmares. And I would like literally hide under my blankets on the night time, hiding from this shark that I thought was going to come and eat me. So I'm going to hide behind a cushion when I read this book. I've heard not great things about this book, by the way, as well. I know a lot of people don't like this one, but I still want to try and give this a read. This movie did traumatize me as a child. A great white shark that eats people. Essentially. Is it Amityville? Amity? Amity, not Amityville. Amity is the small, quaint town where the shark has kind of wreaked havoc, I guess. It's been a while since I watched the film as well. It's that opening scene, it gets me every time. Okay, so the next word is I, which is technically really a letter, so I probably should have eliminated that. However, it made this whole thing easier. I would love to read I Am Your Evil Twin by R.L. Stine. This is a Goosebumps Series 2000 book, and not just this book, but the entire Goosebumps Series 2000 series. I would love to read this and do a whole vlog on it. I did that with the original Goosebumps books and really enjoyed myself, and I think I'm going to love the Goosebumps Series 2000 series even more. And Goosebumps is a series that is just scary stories for kids, and there's a different one in each one, and in this one apparently there's an evil twin, so I would like to read this one. I didn't even have to stretch the word. So the next word is new, and I never knew that Legally Blonde was a book, but this is Legally Blonde by Amanda Brown. I am really excited to read this because Legally Blonde is one of my favorite movies, and Legally Blonde is one of my favorite musicals. I absolutely adore the musical too. It has some fantastic songs in it. But yes, Legally Blonde, it follows Elle Woods, who decides to go to Harvard Law School to pursue her boyfriend who has just broke up with her. That is the film though. I don't know if the book is essentially the same. Yeah, she still goes to law school to try and win him back. And it sounds like the synopsis is pretty much the same on the back. I don't know what liberties the film took on this one, but I'm hoping it's not too different because honestly the film is so iconic with Reese Witherspoon. So I never knew it was a book. Okay, so the next word is wrong, and I would love to read The Wrong Number by R.L. Stine, which is part of the Fear Street series. It's not actually part of this collection. I only have this one, which is the first 4 books in Fear Street, but I would like to try and read all of the Fear Street books at some point this year. The Wrong Number is one of them, and honestly it was one of the only books with the word wrong in the title that I was actually interested in reading. But yeah, Fear Street is a bit like the Goosebumps series, how they were like scary stories for kids. Well, these ones are more scary stories for young adults, and each book is totally different. The Wrong Number, I believe it was just about a couple of people making prank calls, and then they end up calling a number in Fear Street, and that's where the synopsis ended. excited. I was like, okay, riveting stuff, Mr. Stein. So for the word thing, I have chosen Something is Killing the Children Volume 1 by James Tynion IV with Deladira and Miquel Murto. Now, it says Volume 1. I'm wondering, is this like actually a graphic novel? Because even if it is, I don't mind. I do want to put more graphic novels on my TBR. But it was the synopsis that drew me in. It was the only thing with thing in the title that I was genuinely interested in reading. So the children of Archer's Peak go missing, and sometimes they're never seen again, but sometimes they are, but when they come back, they tell terrifying stories of monsters. There is, however, a stranger that comes to town called Erica Slaughter, and she is going to be hunting these monsters. So essentially, it is the monsters that should be afraid. I love that synopsis so much, and I love the cover of it as well. I love the title of it. Everything about it just screams read me. So that is my option for thing. The next word is and I'm very excited to read Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I am so excited for the new Jurassic World movie, by the way. The trailer of that is absolutely phenomenal. My bussy was quaking. But Jurassic Park is one of my favourite films of all time. I loved it as a child. I still love it to this day. Still never read the book. You know what? Actually, there's a few books in this video that are connected to films that I've enjoyed or have been scarred by. And this is another one because I do want to read more books that inspired some of my favourite films. And Jurassic Park is one of them. And I've heard great things about this one, actually. It is essentially, they've made a park with dinosaurs come back to life. That is like the bare minimum I'm going to give you because I know you guys know what this is about. And I know you guys are excited for the new Jurassic World film. I know it. I know it. And Jurassic Park is still the best film of the franchise. And one of the best films ever. Oh, right, the next one I don't own. But for the word dead, I really want to read The League of the Dead by Andrea Bjerg. And this was in my most anticipated 2022 books video because it's been released in English, I think for the first time. It was originally released in 1942 and was a Norwegian thriller that honestly was one of the scariest stories of all time, apparently. And it was adapted into a film that was one of the most terrifying films of all time in Norwegian too. The 1958 film adaptation is considered Norway's best film ever, apparently. And that terrifies me because this book sounds like it is going to make me scream. It says here that deep in the darkest part of the Norwegian woods stands Dead Man's Cabin, where 110 years ago a madman slew his sister and her lover, throwing their decapitated corpses in a nearby lake before drowning himself to join them in death. Ever since, the cabin has been cursed, and anyone who spends the night there is possessed by the killer spirit and infected with his madness. And then, of course, we have somebody who comes to stay in this cabin. So you can imagine what happens next. I'm so excited. It comes out in February. Comes out February 15th. That's only 3 days away. I didn't realise it actually comes out that soon. I thought it was like coming out in April or something. Oh my god, can I pre-order it right the fuck now? I've just pre-ordered it. I have just literally pre-ordered it. I did not realise it was coming out in literally 3 days. The next word is what, and for that I'm going to be choosing What Once Was Mine, a Disney Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell, and maybe just like the whole Disney Twisted Tales series because I do own quite a few of them and I still have quite a few to read. I've been meaning to for years and I just keep forgetting to put it on my TBR, but I do love the sound of a lot of these Disney Twisted Tales. So What Once Was Mine is a Tangled retelling and I love Tangled so much. Usually there is a tagline, a what if kind of question for each Disney Twisted Tale book, and for What Once Was Mine it is what if Rapunzel's mother drank from the wrong flower? ... I love the look of this one and I love the cover of it. It sounds great. And yeah, Disney Twisted Tales. That is one that I would like to read in 2022. For the word me, I would love to read Zora in Me by Victoria Bond and T.R. Simon. I did a video last year, an A to Z of middle grade recommendations, and I would do a letter of something I've read and then I would also recommend something that I hadn't read yet but I'm excited to. And Zora in Me came up for that because I was looking for books that began with the letter Z, and there aren't a lot of books that begin with that letter, so it instantly stood out to me and it actually sounds really good. So this one follows Zora and she is a pretty good storyteller and she tells people stories of a shape-shifting gator that steals people's souls, and then somebody ends up dead and it seems like Zora's tales might not actually be that unrealistic, something like that. It apparently came out like 10 years ago, so how this flew under the radar for me, and I've heard nobody talk about it either, is beyond me. It sounds really, really good and that is one I'd love to get my hands on and read this year. For the word mad, my option for that was Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. I really didn't know anything else to pick for this one, but I did say that I wanted to read more classics in 2022 too, so I guess that ticks that box. So this apparently follows Bathsheba and she ends up taking up a role as a farmer on a large estate. She has 3 suitors. I genuinely don't know. I read Test the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy for uni and I remember liking it. So maybe I might like this one from Thomas Hardy. I don't own it. It's kind of low on my priority list, not gonna lie. But what else has Mad in the title? I don't know. I was gonna think maybe I could do it like Madeline Miller and pick a Madeline Miller book I haven't read yet. Actually, why didn't I do that? I'm not gonna do that now. I've already said it and I can't be bothered to change it. So, Far From the Madden Crowd, Thomas Hardy. The next bit is said, and I've always said that I want to read Agatha Christie, and one of them that I really would love to read is And Then There Were None. Of all the Agatha Christie books I asked recommendations for, this one came up the most. But yeah, Agatha Christie, murder mystery. So this one follows 10 strangers who are invited to an island, and one of them dies, and I think they each die one by one. Something like that. I don't know. It does remind me of Harper's Island. I remember that. That was a mini-series that aired like 10 years ago or something on CBS. It was a really good series. I really enjoyed that series. Oh my god. I just remembered Cal and Chloe from that series. Oh, I've just been hit with a memory I thought I'd forgotten. Harper's Island was good. I don't know if anybody else watched it. Let me know down below if you did. But yeah, this sounds a bit like that. I have been interested in reading Agatha Christie's other works as well. I've stretched that word a lot. The next bit is open, and a book I'm pulling from my open legs right now is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This one is a romance, and it follows a young socialite who gets cut off by her father and sent to live in a seaside village where she meets a sailor. I think he's a sailor, some kind of boatman. He goes on boats. He looks very hot, judging from the illustration on the cover. This is one that I would really like to read this year. It comes highly recommended by a lot of people, and I can't wait to dive into Tessa Bailey's stuff. And this is the one out of Tessa Bailey's works that I'm the most excited about. So yeah, I needed something to pull from my open legs, and this is one of them. The next word was chest. I mean, I couldn't really find any books with chest, but what resides in our chest? Our souls. So I would kind of like to read We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendrix. I haven't been loving a lot of Grady Hendrix's stuff recently, and I did used to absolutely love his earlier books, but this one I think actually did come out quite a few years ago, and I want to read this one to see if I do still really like Grady Hendrix as an author, and if not, that I might end up giving up the rest of his books. So this is literally the final chance for Grady Hendrix. This is apparently set in the 1990s. We follow somebody who used to be a lead guitarist of a band, and then one of her bandmates ended up leaving the rest of the bandmates in obscurity. I think it's years later, and Chris ends up going on a road trip to find out if this other band member sabotaged the band more than he let on. Something like that. I really don't know, judging from the synopsis on the back, to be honest. And you know what? It sounds totally different to what I pictured it to sound. We sold our souls. To me, it sounds like they sold their souls to the devil for popularity and success. That's what it sounds like to me. But judging from the back, I don't know if it is actually about that. So this could be a bad idea, but I own it. It does look pretty good, and it's one of Grady Hendrix's earlier stuff, so I might end up enjoying it more. And we're gonna say it's the final chance. That's not a song. The penultimate word is late, and I'm so late in finishing the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I have been meaning to finish the series for ages, and I know everybody watching this is annoyed right now. Like, oh my god, not this again. I put the third one on my TBR like 5 times, and it just doesn't happen. I think I should start from the beginning again and work my way through, but Percy Jackson is a series I'm sure you all know about as well. It is Greek mythology. We follow Percy, who is a demigod. It is a demigod, isn't it? Or a half-blood, and he goes to Camp Half-Blood, where he meets other half-bloods and other children of gods and all of that good stuff, and he goes on adventures, and yay, it's going to be made into a Disney Plus series, and I'm so excited for it. So it would be great to read the entire series before that comes out, and I think it's coming out this year, I don't know. But yeah, this is one that I'm very late in finishing off. And finally, the last word is rest, and I will not rest until I have read the entire complete Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Yes, I would love to read all of this year as well. I have big ambitions for all of the things I want to try this year, all of the classics I should have tried years ago, and Sherlock Holmes is a literary character I've been wanting to meet for the longest time. And this is big, 1,100 pages long. Can I do it in a week? No, I can't. But it's another mystery series that is a classic, and I'm sure you've heard of a lot of the Sherlock Holmes stories. One that I am genuinely excited about is The Hound of the Baskervilles. That is one that I think a lot of people have heard about, and probably is one of Sherlock Holmes's famous adventures. I think I'm going to end up loving this. I hope so anyway. 221B Baker Street. The settings, the locations, the characters are just so iconic now, and I would love to see what all the fuss is about. I may struggle with it because it's a little bit older, but I'm willing to give it a chance, and hopefully this book takes a chance on me. If you change your mind. So there we have it. Those were the 22 books that I would love to read in 2022. I am a bit late on posting this kind of video. A lot of people have already done it. But as I always say, a queen is never late. Everyone else is simply early. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know what you are wanting to read in 2022. If you would recommend any of the books I talked about in this video, let me know. Hype me up a little bit. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons, of course. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for always supporting me. You're the best, and I really do hope that I will see you in the next video. Bye!